Visions Now, Supper Club. All views expressed for their educational and journalistic purposes. They're not the views of the management, advertisers, and staff of 92.1 FM. However, Visions does desire to bring a quality entertainment program which intellectually stimulates and culturally fulfills our community's needs to develop leadership and inform decision-making for our collective future. Welcome to the village. Often imitated, but never duplicated. I'm Dr. Jaylene Hood, your host and executive producer. Welcome.
A real human is a nurturer by default. Why are you not a nurturing person? Well, you have to deal with that. Was it child trauma? Did you get touched on? Did you get beat up? Did you get bullied as a child? Was your father in the household? Did your mama leave you? Was you raised by the streets? Like, it's so many traumatic things that we have to deal with inwardly before we even able to fight the devil, or who we call the devil on the outside. We need to fight the devil, and that's I love the word enemy, because it literally says the inner me. So your inner you is your enemy. We got to deal with that first before we able to. And that's why I have to be like, lead by example. I can't be out here, clubbing all the time, smoking weed, eating bad food, shoving meat down my mouth when I'm teaching a total different narratives. And it seems like that's what humans do now. They teach one thing because it's a trend, but they practice another thing because that's really who they are. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to deal with who we are as individuals. And once we truly fix that, we can come together as a collective. And that's how we start turning things around. And the first step that I would do is I will teach true education about religion. Once I'm done teaching true education about religion, I will teach them, put the religion to the side unless we need it in the households. Hopefully we can come together with one religion as a people, because we have the same people should have the same culture if we re-identify with our true culture. And then if we want to do a collective consciousness where we gather with other species of people, then, we don't even bring in no religion. We just focus on common denominators we need. And the common denominators we need as so-called Black people is, first, we don't know who we are. We don't know our identity. Who are we?
A lot of the times women think that protection is just physical, but protection is everything that's not physical. It's only probably 5% physical, because how many times do they even find themselves in an altercation involving physicality, right? So let's look at it like that. But a man's presence naturally can prevent a physical altercation, because if a man thought about harming a woman and he found out she has a man in her life, a brother, a father, a boyfriend, a husband, a son, his intentions change. So I don't want to go through that, because why? Because you're going to be held accountable. You understand what I'm saying? So when they say, oh, we need protection from what, they don't understand that there's certain boundaries that they don't even set. They get violated on the day-to-day. You go get an oil change, they telling you double the price. You need brakes, they telling you more. You need to do this. You can't even walk in a store without a man messing with you. Now, I know that's just one point. Now, let's go to the other side of it. Protection from their own overthinking. When they can't find solutions, when they got to cry before they come to the terms of this is what needs to be done. And all of these things that a man could just cut to the corner and get it done. So it's not just physical protection, it's mental protection too, because if you can't figure it out, who are you going to call? A man to figure it out. So I think that, and in reverse, how I think women protect men, of course, women should protect. A lot of the times, women think that protection is just physical, but protection is everything that's not physical.
Is that, yes, the involvement of violence in Black folks comes from that long history that the president was talking about, that We have to remember that we learned from some of the best. There had some white boys came over here that did the first beheadings in Point Coupee, Louisiana, where I'm from. Slave insurrection, that was the way you dealt with it. Tuskegee syphilis incident. We're going to see how black men die if they have syphilis, but we pretend we treat them with penicillin, and we're just going to watch the pathology of how they die. Now, that wasn't back 200 years ago. That was 1930 to 1974. We're talking about giving these wonderful blankets to Native Americans infected with smallpox as they walked on that trail of tears just to see how they die and to eliminate their population so we can take all of that land. So the violence that is in America has come from a very learned position that was brought here by some Caucasian folks. All right. So now, and as a black man, why should we fear the rise of a black woman? Any black man that has an issue with a black woman rising, then they have to look at their own inadequacy. What would make you so fearful of someone who was so beloved of you, who was so beloving to you, like your mother and your grandmother and your aunts and your sisters, that you cannot be proud and embolden yourself when you see someone from your community rise up? That's not enough for you to vote for this campaign. Why don't you go to the other and hold up a sign behind him at a rally and tap dance? That's what they want from you. There's blood on that ballot box. Remember those who died in the rivers of Alabama and Mississippi? There's blood on that ballot box. To them, do the honor and vote. Realize that, yes, the involvement of violence in black folks comes from that long history that the president was talking about.
Anything, but stop acting like a man, right?
But a lot of women want the authority of a man, want the responsibility of a child, and want the perks of being a woman.
Yeah.
How asinine is that?
Right.
Because if you come at a man like a man, what do you want him to do?
Right.
Because he would not even allow another man to come at him like that. And 9 times out of 10, men don't come at other men like that because it will get violent.
Right.
But women, when you step into your masculine energy, what do you expect that man to do? Get into his feminine energy?
Yeah.
You want him, when have you ever had an argument or a spat or a situation with a man and he's like, okay, after you became aggressive with him? It almost never works like that. Your power is in your divine femininity.
I'm noticing that.
You're able to neutralize him. That is something we can't bypass. Ladies, when you come at us with your divine femininity, we become docile.
Yeah.
We become very pliable. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when you approach us in this masculine energy,
or anything, but stop acting like a man, right?
But a lot of women want the authority of a man, want the responsibility of a child, and want the perks of being a woman.
Believe women are being socially engineered to hate men and men are being socially engineered to be gay. Don't at me. It's just what I see. I've picked up on it. They're just making men more and more effeminate, encouraging effeminate behavior. And so to further that initiative, there's been a movement originally started by, you guessed it, a psychoanalyst. And that movement is called Single Mothers by Choice. And I'm going to let you hear about that on a recent CBS episode in which they were celebrating Mother's Day. And so they decided to do that by showing Single Mothers by Choice. Take a listen.
In honor of Mother's Day this Sunday, we're taking a look at a growing trend in motherhood, women becoming single moms by choice.
I said to myself, in 15 to 20 years, would I be more upset that I didn't have a kid or more upset that I didn't fall in love and get married? And I was like, if I didn't have a kid, for me, I feel like my life wouldn't be as fulfilled.
But you do wonder, and I'm just going through this in my head right now, what about the men that are being raised in those environments? So mom decides to be a single mom. She picks, in America, you can choose gender. I'm going to have boys only. How do those men fare in society? Well, take a listen to one such case.
Brothers Mackenzie and Cooper Schoenthaler were chosen by their mother, a doctor, more than 2 decades ago. She had them at 41 and 45 using the same donor.
Didn't see our parents cry, and
I believe women are being socially engineered to hate men, and men are being socially engineered to be gay.
More than 100 different African nations that were brought to this country. Who are these people? And then when you ask students at all the universities, I did this at Harvard, I've done it at Yale, I did do this. Name me 5 African ethnic groups that were brought to America. And they could hardly name one. And then if you ask, name me 5 European ethnic groups that came to America, they could name 35. Why is that? How could that be? I could tell you right off, the immigrants that came from Europe, Italian, Polish, English, French, German, Norwegian. But if I ask that question about Africans, I say, well, where do these people come from? And rarely do you get people who are able to say Wolof, Mandinka, Yoruba, Igbo, Asante, Fante, Ga, Ewe. That's who Africans in the diaspora are. But even Africans do not know that. So what's the problem? There were more than 100 different African nations that were brought to this country. Who are these people? And then when you ask students at all the universities, I did this at Harvard, I've done it at Yale, I did do this. Name me 5 African ethnic groups that were brought to America. And they could hardly name one.
Seven Hermetic principles. 1, mentalism. Everything starts with the mind. Our reality is shaped by our thoughts. 2, correspondence. As above, so below. Patterns repeat across different levels of existence. 3, vibration. Everything is in constant motion. Nothing rests. 4, polarity. Everything has its opposite. Duality balances the universe. 5, rhythm. Life has cycles. Everything rises and falls. 6, cause and effect. Every action has a reaction. Nothing happens by chance. 7, gender. Masculine and feminine principles exist in all things. These principles guide us to understand and navigate the universe. The mission for Ritronica is to inspire people's lives.
Drug dealers. I don't condone them, I don't celebrate them, but I did grow up around them. But I'm still enamored by them. Why? Because we can go to any hood in America and find me the biggest, baddest dope boy on any block. And y'all are gonna have to convince me that that kid doesn't understand import, export, wholesale, retail, supply, demand, customer retention, customer support, loss prevention, all with a gun to his head. And the cops and his competition literally trying to eviscerate him from the equation every single day. What if that kid had different experiences, different exposure, different income, inputs, better role models? If he did, he runs circles around everybody.
Of professional sports, it's a psychological anesthesia to lull you into a state of asleepness so that you do not feel the pain of them extracting all of the beauty from your future, why it exists. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just going to ask you the question. Does it make sense to be cheering for people who don't know you to win a game that doesn't matter and you can't pay your light bill? You can't educate your children the way you desire to. You can't take a family vacation, but you're jumping up and down because a full-grown man ran over another full-grown man over a pigskin filled with air. It doesn't make sense. You're broke and you're watching a movie. I want you to feel the pain of that statement. You're broke and watching a movie. You're watching people who are rich pretend to be people who don't exist to distract you from intention in your life, from making your family's life better for generations. And you're watching fake people live fake lives to create real feelings in you that anesthetize you from the fact that your life isn't working. It doesn't make sense. I like movies. Difference between me and you is I can afford to watch them now. And when I couldn't, I didn't. You don't understand. I was so hyper-focused on intention. I didn't listen to music. I didn't watch television. I didn't go to games. I didn't watch games. I didn't care who won if I was losing. Hyper-focus on intention instead of hyper-focusing on distraction. It'll change your life for the rest of your life. What's a distraction? Anything that doesn't move the needle in your favor.
Hello, Visionaries. This is Dr. J. Aleem Hood, the host and executive producer for Visions Now, and also your Mystic brother. That's right, with the Mystic Moment, 92.1 FM, smooth R&B, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're the one that said, help us help you. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get money into our community. We spend too much money with other people that don't do nothing for our community. All of this water here, that we are here for fundraisers for you, okay, to help us provide resources for our programs for our young people. We were just in Elizabeth County yesterday. We're going to be going to Warren Williams, going to be going to Fowley Homes, and we're coming to a neighborhood near you. But the bottom line is that if you have an athletic team, they need to be drinking real water. This is water not from Walmart. This is from the Black Wall Street Network. We have to bring our dollars back home. We're making everybody rich, okay, and also making us emotionally poor because we don't support each other. So if you have a business out there, a restaurant, or you know somebody, or you just want to get some water for your own personal use, this is the best water in the business. None better. God made this water. It's artesian spring water. Artesian. Don't go by just the color. I'm not gonna call no name. That blue bottle and them all these other jackleg bottles. No. This is the real water.
Good afternoon, family. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. And again, we are back with yet another installment of Visions Now, and we got a great show for everybody as usual. I'm the producer for the evening, Julian, and before I turn it over to Doc, as usual, we're gonna go ahead and get into a few announcements. Coming up on Saturday, the 21st, that look like this upcoming Saturday, there's American Legion presents the Denim and White Day Party. Again, this is going to be Saturday, September 21st, from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. Excuse me. The tickets are going to be $8 in advance, and at the door, the tickets will be $10. And that address is 4027 Casita Road. Again, the address is 4027 Casita Road. American Legion Denim and White Day Party. Again, September 21st, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tickets are $8 in advance and $10 at the door. I definitely want to make it out to that. And as well, on September the 27th, New Horizons Behavioral Health is having a recovery on the river. They will be having some speakers, some live music, vendors, some prizes, and also have some training and resources as well. So this will be at the Woodruff Riverfront Park, again on September 27th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And again, if you have any questions, this is New Horizons Recovery on the River from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you have any questions, please give us a call here on the show at 324-1420. Again, that's 706-324-1420. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this meal. How you doing this evening, Doc?
Peace. Yes,
sir.
Peace be unto you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And how's things up there on Columbus State University? Our students waking up?
Slowly but for surely. Everything's going well. Again, we're still trying to organize ourselves so we can mobilize, we can say.
Okay.
And in other news, apparently the university is undergoing a name change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Black students don't like Columbus State University.
Okay.
So we'll see what name we come up with.
Okay. What's the feeling coming back from the history or something?
Yeah, it doesn't fit the vibe, but you know, Columbus necessarily isn't our guy.
Okay.
So apparently some students is fed up, and I can. It's reasonable. I'm definitely with that. So hopefully, university we getting a little name change soon.
Okay. Well, one thing about it is that at one time it used to be the rebels,
right?
For the Confederacy, and then so they became the Cougars.
Yes,
and, again, I hope they also understand that they got to do more than just change the name. They got to change the plane too.
Yes, sir.
They got to get faculty members up there.
Yes, sir.
That's going to actually teach and prepare us to actually make a difference in our communities.
Yes, sir.
Not just to go and get a job, but to create opportunities as well. And so we just, but that's the beginning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt about it. So. So who's spearheading that effort up there?
Yeah, really just right now the NAACP, Progressive Black Men Inc. And hopefully we'll be able to get some other orgs, some Divine Nine, absolutely, get them on board and kind of create our experience.
Right. And also one of the other things that we did was that provide resources so that the students can do outreach and see when I was in college, the university gave us funds to go out into the communities to tutor young children.
Okay.
In the neighborhood, they gave us like work study.
Yes, sir.
We could go out and work with community organizations that work with disadvantaged youth,
and they were funded.
And they gave them. Their work study. That was their work study.
Okay,
that type of thing. And
get some of that going on.
That part, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. No doubt about it. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Our thought for today is that the man who is free from disturbances within himself is no trouble to another man. The man who is free from disturbances within himself is no trouble to another man. So therefore, if there's somebody that's hateful and want to divide and conquer, and somebody who hate truth, they don't want to fess up and do what needs to be done, then I tell you that there's some inner demons that person is dealing with.
Yeah, on the inside.
Yeah, there you go. So therefore, you should know. The only reason you don't know an inner demon when you see one manifesting is because you got inner demons yourself. And that's Dr. Hood says. Also, if my thought today, or if the truth be told, our city is poorly managed when it comes to citizens. Our city can do great things by building up buildings. They can do great things about doing things on the river, but they can do great things, in that respect. Okay, but when it comes down to the people, the people out here, we understand that we got garbage trucks and there are no jobs. So my thing is that they do everything wrong because they're so greedy and so selfish, and they hate the community. I mean, they really hate the community because right now you got these new garbage trucks, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in the past, you had a garbage truck where you had people who worked the garbage trucks all over the country.
Yeah.
And what that means is that when you pull up in front of, if you stay across the street from me, and when the truck pulls up, you get one person will grab my garbage, the other person will go grab your garbage. Same truck. Now,
what are you doing?
Now they got to go all the way down to one side of the street. Then they got to come all the way back down the other side of the street because they got these doggone AI mechanical devices.
Yes,
and then they want the citizens to pay for the garbage cans if they need extra trash cans. That's ridiculous. We paid all this money. Look at all these bills. Look, the Liberty Theater still down there. Look like a prisoner.
Right.
Got fenced around it down there.
Yes,
and they're going to come and put a little money in there to do something. Give the Liberty Theater, and it's a darn shame that our city management gave the Liberty Theater to the city. It should have been strengthening the community so the community could run it and the city could partner with them. But instead, we got the Liberty Center. They're building a baseball place down there already. Put all big kind of money. The Liberty Theater still down there with a fence around, like the YDC.
Disappointing.
I mean, it's terrible, terrible. And
We got Sister LaShonda Thomas. She said, "You better preach."
you know, I'm saying, so more and more people. One thing about it, we got to stop sitting out here letting these things go. Right now, senior citizens, have you seen these big old garbage cans? When you fill those garbage cans, a lot of senior citizens, they can't pull these cans out. These big garbage cans.
Yeah, the size
Okay.
of it,
Yeah. So therefore, then they're saying, well, you got to claim disability before you can get help. Well, disability is that you are retired. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, the other point is that this is part of the problem, that they eliminate jobs, but they create more jobs for police, but they eliminate jobs for people to make money so they can take care. Now, rather than them giving the prisoners extra money so that while they're incarcerated, they ride on the trucks. Then when they get out, they have some money to get them an apartment, buy them a little car, take care of themselves. Instead, they rather take them off the truck, pay all this big time money for a truck with a artificial arm.
Robotic.
Now where's the job? Where are the jobs? Now where's the jobs now? Okay. The other option was that when people get out of prison, they could get the job. I never could understand this. Why could you be a prisoner and have the job, but when you get out, you couldn't be working on the garbage? Many cities have people working on the garbage truck. Okay, that could be a step up. I mean, college students. I mean, get right doing.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Get doing the garbage truck, make doing the part-time. Yeah, but instead, I mean, that shows you how the haterade that's going on in this city, and that goes from the mayor all the way down.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we grin in their face. That's why I go to these events. And people grin in their face and then applaud them. For what? Our children are dying out here. Our children are homeless out here. Our children are out here stealing and robbing, trying to make a life. But yet still, the mayor walks around this town and we applaud them for doing nothing. It's no wonder we don't get nothing done.
No challenge.
So my point is that if I'm wrong, show me where I'm wrong. Our children, where's the money being invested in our children?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the money? We got all the money being invested in buildings and this and that and other. But where's the money to redirect the children? 8 out of 10 children that go to the YDC and get out go back to prison. Go back to the youth. Why? Because there's no investment in these children. And I'm hoping that the city council will listen very carefully and step up and stop just don't go there and just be a part of the good old boy system. Stand up and work for the people.
Yeah.
The people, these tax-paying people out here. Some people are getting more than they taxpayer dollars. They're giving money to people to move to Columbus, to move into condominiums downtown. But at the same time, they're putting out people over in the south side of East Welland. The people don't have enough money, and they're raising the rent on those people, and they're giving money to bring people in town to go into condominiums. I mean, something is wrong. Something is wrong with the heart and the soul. And I wish our pastors will really, really, truly become ministers. We got a lot of pastors, but do we have ministers? Okay? We've been trying to ask out here for months and months and months for just each church to assign one person out of their whole congregation to work with the New Era Coalition to make sure that the children and the senior citizens in those congregations have some support so that they can be successful. And I'm not going to call the name of those churches that have stepped up and have committed to doing that, but it's far and few between.
With all the churches here.
With all the churches here. I think we got more liquor stores and churches than anything.
Right. Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I think
sounds about right.
Yeah, something about right about that.
Yeah,
so if the truth be told, I'm saying that we need to pray for our city executives, and we need to. They're building a government center. Well, they're tearing down the government center, and building a courthouse. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That we need a courthouse more than we need a government center? Okay, we got a whole big police department building, and now we're going to have a whole big sheriff department building, and now we're going to have a whole big courthouse. Who's going to be in the courthouse? Yeah. And where are they going to go? That means they get more jails.
Right, that part.
Okay, now when they come out of jail, are they going to jail to learn a trade? Are they going to jail to get their education? Or so when they come out, they can be productive citizens. Or they going in jail and prison to get mental health support? No, they go in almost crazy. They come out fully crazy.
Right.
And then when they get back on the streets, they don't have any support for them to get themselves back to actually become caring citizens and productive citizens in our community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, hotline number 706-324-1420. And if the truth be told, here's on the chat, of course, but give us a call. Raise your voice. Raise your voice, 706-324-1420. I mean, it just, have some pride in yourself. Have some decency. Have some self-respect. Who's going to stand up for our children? Who's going to stand up for those who've been victims of an economic system that thrives off of crime and put more money into guns and helicopters and drones and vests and locking people up? And that's after the fact. Why can't we put money to stop it in advance? Okay, that's what the city's supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to have government to prevent the problem. Then, of course, we're supposed to have law enforcement and public safety. I hear the law enforcement, but I don't hear the public safety part. There's no investment there. So I'm just trying to say is that I'm on the point is that is the doggone shame that our children are blowing in the wind out here without any guidance, any direction, any place that really can serve to help them heal, like the Liberty Theater. There's nothing been done there. But for the elite of our community, they got boxing. What do you call it? In the baseball field.
The box were all bro.
Yeah, well, you go in there and get your drink on and watch the baseball game. But I'm trying to listen. That's not economic development.
I was going to say
that's not economic development for you to be selling popcorn down there. That's not economic development. We're talking about jobs for our children. Okay, put them out in their neighborhood. Give them some money so that they can work in their own neighborhood, so they can bring these big old garbage cans out to the road for the senior citizens and take them back in their yard. Give the children a stipend for that.
I did have a question. So in terms of the black elite, quote unquote, in Columbus, what do you think they are investing in? If it's not
first of all, Columbus does not have a black elite.
That part, okay.
Okay, Columbus have black house
bourgeois
house players.
House players,
house players, house pimps. And so therefore they getting jobs, smoking cigars. They spend all their time down there on Broadway getting drunk and having a good time. But yet at the same time, they're not mentoring these children that coming out of the YDC.
Yeah.
They're not mentoring these children that coming out the housing projects. Okay. They don't have any time for that. Okay. But yet and still they got plenty of time to get their party on, drinking a top shelf liquor and all that kind of stuff. They got plenty of time for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but again, I go back again, parents, you are betraying your children. Parents, you are betraying your children. You should be you should be out here raising your voice, demanding from your politician who represents you.
That's a part.
Okay,
so, yeah.
But when they get on the city council, they're not representing the people no more. They represent the River City. They're not representing the east side, the south side, the north side. No, they forget about them. They put their call on hold. Okay.
Yeah, it's evident. Yeah,
it's evident all over. And so I'm just, I hate to be the one again to say it, but thus says the Lord. And I say this: anybody that disagrees with me, call in. Hey, if I'm saying something wrong, correct me. That's the way I see it. If the truth be told, that's the way I see it. Okay, so that's the story of that. But again, so I can take a little break here and come back for more Visions Now, the Supper Club. And again, we're the one that love you. We're going to continue to love you. And we're going to brag about how many people got locked up because of what they're doing bad. But again, I'm saying that let's get some jobs out here for hundreds of children. Now, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that on the news. These news broadcasts, they talk about, we got this much and this much money, we got out of. Listen, that money there, spending money. They're not spending it in their own neighborhood. They're not buying houses. They're trying to pay rent. provides what jobs are they providing for the same people? What job would they have if they weren't in crime? I'm not promoting crime, but I'm trying to say, what would they be doing for a gainful, productive citizens? What kind of work would they be doing if they were not doing crime? So therefore, what we're doing is that we are creating crime, locking them up for becoming criminals, and making money off of them. Okay. And I'm trying to say it's the doggone shame. Doggone shame. They should, and they call themselves people of faith. People of faith. It's a doggone shame. Anyway, let's take a break and praise the Lord. Vision Now, your supper club. I'm the one that loves you and going to continue to love you. And of course, my love comes from God. Vision Now, 92.1, Smooth R&B.
You just got into an accident. Thinking to yourself, is this karma? I ain't been the best person in life. I don't think this karma. I don't think karma caught you yet. I think this is a good thing. You called top dog. Money coming, could be karma, I don't know, but money coming. What they say, money's the root of all evil. A lot of money coming your way. That was a bad accident. What you gonna do with all that money? What you gonna do? Soon as you call top dog, started working on it immediately, trying to get you that money fast. Try to get it fast. Any accident. It's TopDogLaw.com.
Hey, how about lunch at T-Bone Steakhouse and Grill? Every Thursday through Sunday, T-Bone's features 12 for 12. That's 12 different menu items for $12 or less a piece. Plus, Thursdays and Fridays, you're welcome to order off the menu, but I suggest you try T-Bone's new cafeteria-style lunch. A meat and 3 veggies plus bread for a great low price. Cafeteria-style and 12 for 12 ends at 4 p.m. Tuesday evenings, come on out for our famous taco bar. Serve yourself all you can eat. And kids eat free from the kids' menu with each paid adult. And it's also bingo every Tuesday night at T-Bone Steakhouse and Grill.
Hi, this is Jimmy Gorey at Gorey's Furniture. We have been selected to do a factory authorized sale with England Furniture. Now through October the 12th, come out, make a purchase for England Furniture, you're going to get an extra 10% off. England Furniture, made in the USA. Come out, design your furniture with over 500 fabrics to choose from. Any England design or in-stock purchase. And that's only at Gorey's Furniture.
Some more. Tommy Roberts, Tommy Davidson, Arnez J, and Tony Rock are bringing the Festival of Laughs tour to the River Center for the Performing Arts in Columbus, October 4th. And this is your chance to win tickets. Just text the words comedy to 855-706-2946. That's comedy to 855-706-2946.
Let's have some straight talk. Are you sick of being trapped in a title pond or just need a loan now? Call 1-800-NEW-RATE. If you're in a title pond trap, we can get you out. Check out some of these features. We save you thousands in interest. We lower your payments, possibly cut in half, and you get up to $1,000 in extra cash. That's $1,000 extra cash, and your first payment is not due for up to 45 days. Call 1-800-NEW-RATE. That's 1-800-NEW-RATE. R-A-T-E. It's fast, it's easy, and you get approved right over the phone, and you get your check today. Do you need a loan? Do you need to pay off that high-interest title pond loan and your first payment not due for 45 days and you could maybe half the payment of the title pond? Call 1-800-NEW-RATE. That's 1-800-NEW-RATE. R-A-T-E. Did I mention you get up to $1,000 extra cash? That's 1-800-NEW-RATE. Get approved over the phone. Get your check today. That's 1-800-NEW-RATE. R-A-T-E. Did I get up to $1,000 in extra cash? That's 1-800-NEW-RATE. R-A-T-E.
How do you feel about whether or not this department in this moment can be trusted?
So first of all, if you want to talk about the trust with the police and black people,
there's never been trust. All right, so that's number one. Number two is that if you look at the numbers, 75% of murders go unsolved. So obviously they're not doing their job, and they haven't been doing their job in years. But hopefully Superintendent Eddie Johnson can do something about the police culture. But if we're talking about violence, police isn't the answer. You could put 100,000 police officers on the street that will not reduce violence in the city of Chicago, because police are only there to react. They're only there to react. You have to put money into prevention. And right now, nobody has really said it, but his name is Rahm Emanuel. And this mayor that we have in the city of Chicago does not care about black people. And I'm gonna put that on the record. When you can invest $100 million into DePaul basketball arena when they can practice at the United Center for free, and $16.4 million into Uptown to build upscale apartments, when you can build these new bus stops we got now downtown, but walk in our neighborhoods and not $1 million is coming. When we walking past boarded up schools, boarded up houses, they knock it down with red X's with no plan to redevelop. Mental health facilities shut down. The unemployment rate is the highest in Chicago than it is around the country. When you want to talk about violence, you got to talk about the economics, not police.
How do you feel about whether or not this department in this moment can be trusted?
We're taught to pursue women.
Yes.
We're taught that, like, look, no, and I know how it sounds. Roll with me for a moment. Look at what we're taught about love through fantasy. The woman is always trapped somewhere. The man always has to go on some long conquest. She becomes the prize immediately upon rescuing her, and he becomes a hero immediately upon rescuing her, not by providing for her after, not by maintaining a house for her after. She doesn't have to do for him. It's all about the game. So when he talk about a man wanting a damsel in distress, that's what most of us were taught to want. You have to unlearn things like that. A man has to sit with himself long enough to say, who am I for real? And what do I actually bring to the table, to where I don't need a woman to validate what I got going on. But to sit up here and villainize a man for doing what we taught to do, bro, that's crazy.
In the slice of history between 1963 and 71, a dark medical experiment took place. Black prisoners were the subjects, their bodies infiltrated by a radioactive compound, thymidine, injected directly into their testicles. The purpose? To probe the effects of radiation on testicular cells, to ascertain the doses that would induce change or inflict damage. This occurred during an era when using prisoners as research subjects was an accepted practice in the United States. The Oregon experiment, as it came to be known, was interpreted by state officials as permission for an inmate to consent to a vasectomy, thereby becoming an experimental subject. A chilling chapter in the annals of medical ethics, reminding us of the importance of consent and the value of human dignity. In the slice of history between 1963 and 71, a dark medical experiment took place. Their bodies infiltrated by a radioactive compound, thymidine, injected directly into their testicles. The purpose? To probe the effects of radiation on testicular cells, to ascertain the doses that would induce change or inflict damage. This occurred during an era when using prisoners as research subjects was an accepted practice in the United States. The Oregon experiment, as it came to be known, was interpreted by state officials as permission for an inmate to consent to a vasectomy, thereby becoming an experimental subject. A chilling chapter in the annals of medical ethics, reminding us of the importance of consent and the value of human dignity.
Men are supposed to do. They're supposed to provide for a woman. So when a woman already has
everything.
Oh, that's when they feel intimidated.
That's when
what
they
you're
feel
saying.
intimidated.
That man isn't intimidated by a woman like you. He's annoyed by a woman like you, because a man doesn't want to date another man. He wants to date a woman. So let's flip it so it makes sense and pay attention, right? A woman like you that's independent boss babe, she took on characteristic traits of a man, like being non-agreeable, being assertive, and being dominant, which is all A-type personality traits, which is naturally masculine traits. So when a woman takes on that trait, it's like, ew, you're like a man now. So it's annoying. It's not intimidating. Now let's flip it. Let's say if you got with a man and he was very flamboyant and he didn't have any ambition and he was very agreeable, like he was a yes man. He had no backbone. Would you feel intimidated by that man?
No.
If he was checkmate.
Wait,
Stop it.
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, welcome back to Visions Now. Hotline number 706-324-1420. And of course, don't forget, registering to vote. There's some deadlines coming up for people who need to register to vote.
I think it's
the first week in October.
First week in October, I want to say.
And I know that you can also do what you call vote by mail, I guess you call it, as well. Your absentee ballots are also available. Well, again, if you want to get registered to vote, and again, I'm saying that I'm not saying who wants to vote for, but I'm saying that this day and time is a coward who cannot make a decision as to who would be best in this executive seat for the executive director of America, called the presidency. It's really cowardly if you can't make a decision. And so therefore, vote for whatever your heart is. If you got a heavenly heart, you vote for whatever that is. You got a hellish heart, you vote for whatever that is. But by all means, there's too many people sacrificed. There's too much been put into the right, and so therefore, the main people who don't take no time to vote, they're the main one complaining. So don't complain about nothing. If you're not going to at least make a decision. And obviously, you're not a man and you're not a woman if you can't make up your mind. Okay? And even though you might be if you make the wrong decision and you mean well, then at least I can respect that. But you make the wrong decision and you know it's wrong, then there's no respect there. There's just total there's total disrespect. There's no self-respect there. I'll put it to you like that. Okay, so one of the things that we just got to do is that we're too complacent. Parents, be aware, pay attention, check how your children are doing before the report card. Don't wait for the report cards to come out and find out your child is doing. Check on it before the cards come out so that you might be able to get some extra credit or find out, you get some help for these children. So don't do that. Don't be so hands off. This is your future. Your child, if your child grows up ignorant, can't read, can't write, then how are they gonna take care of you? So now that's one reason why they're gonna end up staying with you, and then even on your sick bed, you trying to take care of them because you did not think enough to prepare. They are your investment. Your children are your investment. Your friends are your investment. Invest in people so that when it come time when you need them, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Invest in people so that people will not think twice about investing in you in your time of need. So that's really what it's all about, is that who are you going to invest in? And if you don't have any children, that's okay. Invest in a friend's children. Invest in a niece, a nephew. Invest in a cousin. Invest in a stranger if they are good people. I mean, the main thing about invest in somebody that they know that, look, I got your back, and then when I can't watch mine, you got mine. And that's type of, I think that's the kind of world that we need to get back to in real life, I hope that all your parents out there that you're involved in your elementary schools, your middle schools, and your high schools. Because your children in high school don't mean that they don't need parents anymore. When they middle school, they need parents even even I won't say even more equally as much as it did when it was in the elementary school, because middle school that we lose more children to the streets during middle school than we do in any other period, because when they leave elementary, that middle school time, and that's even when they drop out of high school, they really dropped out of middle school. They just hung on, and then they just turned it loose in high school. That's as one who's been dealing with this issue for a long time, that's really what goes on. By the way, someone has an announcement of something that they're doing. They're welcome to call in at 706-324-1420, 706-324-1420. And I just hope that, again, that we really have some serious discussions about what's going on in this town. I mean, we are such a dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional when it comes to helping human beings, helping people. But we got all kind of things in the bells and whistles and for the affluent in our community. But for the poor, the only thing they got is the rich get richer and the poor get prison. And that's pretty much the way it is. The poor get to jail down here. And we need to do better than that. I mean, and I'm just wondering, why would a person want to be a politician? Let me put it like this: only a greedy person would be a politician and only do things just to stay elected. I mean, just to have the job. I mean, just to massage your ego. But again, we're gonna pay for your lack of commitment. But also, you're going to pay for it, too. I believe in karma. And I believe in a person to whom much is given, much is required. Yes, sir. And if you don't use your bullet pulpit, your bullet platform to help those who don't have a platform, then my thing is you are going to suffer, or those who you care about going to suffer as well, because what goes around comes around. And I'm still a little bit concerned about... again, I mean, like anything else, people who don't care anything about people, I am concerned about them. But I'm concerned about the fact that when you take that 100 off, there's another 100 going to take their place unless we're going to do something different that's going to help them go in another direction. It's just that simple. And right now, we are trying to get our ministerial community, we're trying to get our governmental representatives to provide resources, because there's some resources that are needed right now. We can't wait till next year. Yeah. And it's like anything else is that, that there are contingency funds that funds can come out of. But you mean to tell me that when we got this is called crisis, but they still hiring law enforcement people. They still building government center. They still getting ready to build a jail. They still buy. I'm saying that, but some kind of way, why is that money available? But the money to save children,
we gotta wait on that.
You gotta wait on that, and it never comes.
Right.
We still waiting on swimming pool. So if you don't get no swimming pool, what else do you expect to get? Can't get the Liberty Theater. What else you expect to get? And then the children don't have any books. And the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life is books cost too much. What costs more than the life of a human being? Yeah. What costs more? But you will pay money for a computer, okay? You pay money for a computer, and what are you going to do with the money that you're saving? Now, invest that money into books for these children. I mean, you do children and everything. I mean.
I was there today. The kids, can we get on the computer? Can we get on the computer? I didn't like, no, we're not going to get on the computer.
No, buddy. I mean, no. I tell you what. You read this chapter to me, and you can handle that. Then you go on the computer. That's what you got to do. Let's read this chapter from this book.
Yeah, and then we can get on the computer.
Then we can get on the computer. Okay? Yeah. What are you doing on the computer? Playing, apparently. You're not trying to get on the computer doing the homework, I don't think. Are they asking to do homework on the computer?
No, they're not.
No, they're not. No, they're not. That's my point.
Oh, man.
Just a toy. Anyone, any comments in our...
we got Sister Thomas again. She said, you better preach, speaking about the condition of elected officials in the city. And,
well, again, I'm just speaking. I mean, maybe I'm wrong with Sister Thomas and whoever else out there, which they would call in and either tell me that I'm right or tell me that I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just saying this this is the truth be told, this is what I would say. And anybody else out there, I'm saying that you might have a different point of view. But again, but these I'm gonna say, how do I don't know, how do people reconcile they say that they are good Christians or good Jews or good Muslims or good Catholics? How do you reconcile that and don't do nothing for nobody but themselves? I mean, how do you reconcile those two things? When you say you following a messenger or a prophet or the Christ, and the message that he said, suffer the children to come unto me. I mean, in other words, we're supposed to love that neighbor as ourselves. I mean, that these are the kind of things that we talk about. But I'm saying, but it's on deaf ears.
It's not in practice for you.
Yeah, I guess that's the problem. You know what? I just think I hit on something. People don't have no conscience. They really don't have a conscience.
In reality, yeah.
In reality. Because the reason I say that, because the reason why I'm willing to speak truth to power under protection of God is because I got a conscience.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to say that where are the people of conscience? They're scared to call in. They stop me and tell me, yeah, keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, why don't you join and help me help you? I mean, I'm trying. This is the part I don't understand. I mean,
it could be something. No,
I'm more afraid of God than I am of people.
And I
guess that's the thing about that. These people are more afraid. I'm afraid that if I don't say something, if I know better and I don't say something about it, I think God
is watching.
I know God is watching, and I don't want God to do nothing to me. I'm trying to earn the favor of God.
Yeah, right.
You know. So you got everything. Oh, good time. Gotta go. Okay. Well, again, it's that time. As always, thank you for joining with us. Get some courage from somewhere, but you cannot say you believe in God and you don't have no courage to speak out on behalf of what thus says the Lord in the book. Supper time is over for the day. So we're going to close up the village. Learn how to love. Thank you for listening. Love the truth. Invite your friends to learn to be loved in our weekly meal, supper time. Let's build that spirit of Harambe. Organize, organize, organize. Educate, educate, educate. Pamoja, Tutashinda, Uhuru Sasa, Watu Wazuri. Peace, soul, love, with a little sprinkle of power. Good night.